Bill Melugin, who starts us off live from the southern border, where there is a lot happening. Bill, what's the very latest from there?
Well, Sandra, it's been exactly 2 years since we saw thousands of Haitians gather under the bridge in Del Rio, Texas. Now we've got thousands of predominantly Venezuelans gathering under the bridge here in Eagle Pass, Texas, after we just witnessed a massive illegal crossing this morning. Let's go right to our drone video we shot as we first started witnessing this taking place. An enormous line of migrants crossing illegally here into Eagle Pass this morning, predominantly Venezuelans. We were talking to them as they were crossing illegally from Piedras Negras, Mexico, directly into Texas with little to no resistance. Our producer talking to several of them as they came in, they said they arrived on a train in northern Mexico this morning. They walked down to the border and then just got in the water and crossed illegally into Texas. It has been a complete free-for-all out here in Eagle Pass this morning. We have not seen images like this since Del Rio 2 years ago when I was out there with those 15,000 Haitians. Border Patrol sources telling us several thousand illegal immigrants have crossed here in Eagle Pass this morning. Take a look at the second piece of video we were shooting from the ground as these people started streaming into the country. They are predominantly single adult men filing into the country, a lot of them waving to our cameras, chanting Venezuela. You can hear a boat going by me right now. That is a Border Patrol boat. These boats have had minimal impact. The Mexican military has been deployed on the Mexican side of the river. That did not stop this massive illegal crossing from taking place. It was non-stop for 2 hours, guys. These images you're looking at right now, this wasn't just a 5 or 10 minute window. This went on for 2 hours straight. We're talking thousands of people filing in, and you can see they're gathering under the bridge because Border Patrol doesn't have enough manpower or buses to get them out of here quickly. So they're trying to get out of the Texas heat and gather under that bridge once again. We mentioned they arrived on a train. That's what they're all telling us. Take a look at this video from yesterday. We were airing this. A massive Venezuelan migrants were riding this train to northern Mexico. They wanted to cross illegally into the United States. The Mexican government stopped it. You can see they got a Venezuelan flag on top of the train. The migrants started chanting, "Let us through, let us continue." The train was temporarily stopped. Well, evidently it got through because we're seeing the results of what happened out here this morning. And there are even more migrants in southern Mexico trying to make their way here. Take a look at this last piece of video. This is Tapachula, Mexico, right on the border with Guatemala, southern Mexico. Masses of Haitian migrants overwhelming a refugee center there, pushing, shoving, stampeding because they want expedited visas to get to the northern part of the country to cross into the United States. Migrants were trampled, officials were trampled, and we're told 2 people were hospitalized as thousands of these Haitian migrants were disruptive and physically forceful in wanting these visas to get to the U.S.-Mexico border. Back out here live, you can see it's going to take Border Patrol a very long time to process these thousands of migrants, and you can expect many of them are going to be released into the United States because the U.S. and Venezuela really don't have diplomatic relations, and you can't deport somebody if the home country isn't willing to take them back. So guys, it's kind of remarkable. It's kind of deja vu. 2 years ago, I remember being in Del Rio with all those Haitians. Here we are again 2 years later. The numbers have never been worse. We've got thousands of mostly Venezuelans gathering here, a free-for-all here in Eagle Pass this morning. We'll send it back to you.
Hey, Bill, it's John here. These pictures that you're bringing us are nothing short of stunning. And if the pace of illegal migration continues in the months of September as it did in August, we'll be on track to probably eclipse 2,400,000 illegal migrants in a year. That would be a new record. Now, after Title 42 came off, we saw the numbers go down. What has accounted for the increase? Is it simply a change in the weather, or is it something else?
Has absolutely nothing to do with the weather. We heard John Kirby yesterday say, oh, it's getting cooler out. It's easier to, it's 100 and something degrees out here. It's hot. It's brutally hot. The weather has nothing to do with it. What happened is when Title 42 dropped, the Biden administration started making promises of more consequences. They said, with Title 42 gone, we're not just going to put you on a bus back to Mexico and kick you back to Mexico anymore. We're going to deport you. And you're also going to have a presumption of ineligibility for asylum for 5 years. So that scared a lot of the migrants. The cartels had to recalibrate how the system worked. Well, over these past few months, the migrants have realized nothing's really changed down here. They're barely deporting anybody. They're deporting a drop in the bucket compared to what comes across the river every single day. So these migrants know if they just get here, they're still going to be released into the country. A large majority of them, that's the case. That's why they're willing to turn themselves in and seek out Border Patrol. We've heard the Biden administration say, do not come. If you cross illegally, you're going to be removed. You need to cross at a port of entry and utilize these lawful pathways we've created. Guys, the port of entry is directly above these migrants. That shadow you see, that's the bridge. That's the port of entry. That's the legal way to do it. They're deciding to do it illegally. They don't want to wait for the paperwork. They don't want to wait for hearings. They don't want to wait for this or that. They know they're going to get released into the country with a court date, and with our system being as backlogged as it is, some of those court dates are stretching out into 2026, 2027. The bottom line, the migrants are not buying the Biden administration's threats of more consequences. We've had 45,000 migrant encounters at our border in the last 5 days alone. That's an average of almost 9,000 every day. And when you hear New York City Mayor Eric Adams saying things like, we can't handle 10,000 per month, kind of puts it in perspective for you. They're getting 9,000 a day down here at the southern border. And New York City, unfortunately for them, it looks like they're going to have a lot more people coming their way because this is just nonstop down here, guys.
And you think about, Bill, the things that the mayor here in New York has said about resources drying up, lacking the ability to handle this influx of migrants. I mean, we are talking about much smaller numbers than those border communities and border states are dealing with right now. But Bill, just to be really specific to the live pictures on the screen right now, underneath that bridge, mostly Venezuelans. I mean, by our count right now, I mean, we're looking at hundreds of people. I see men, women, children. Were you describing the group here of these the mass illegal crossings that have been happening right there over the past couple hours? Were you describing these people coming off the train, or was that the tape that we had a moment ago screen right?
Yes, these people came off the train. As they were streaming in under this bridge, we were interviewing some of them. They were telling us they're from Venezuela and that they had just gotten off a train this morning in Piedras Negras. Then they walked about an hour to the border. Piedras Negras is the Mexican border city directly across the river from us. So everybody we talked to said they arrived on a train, and that kind of explains what we saw happen Monday morning as well. Remember, we had a group of about 2,500 cross here in this exact same spot Monday morning. They arrived on a train as well. And the Mexican military has been deployed on the other side of the river all morning long, and it's done absolutely nothing. The migrants don't care. They're not trying to arrest anybody or stop anything. It's really just a photo op to make it look like the Mexican government is doing something. Keep in mind, the Mexican government can stop these trains. They don't have to issue these humanitarian visas, which allow these migrants to travel throughout the country. They could stop this if they wanted to, but they allow all these migrants just to come right to our doorstep, and then they don't stop them when they do these mass illegal crossings. We've now had 2 of these in 3 days here in Eagle Pass. And we're hearing there's a lot of activity in El Paso right now as well. So the activity along the southern border is just starting to explode. And remember, just 2 weeks ago, Karine Jean-Pierre was up at the White House podium saying that their administration was, quote, stopping the flow. They're not. She was referencing the June numbers being lower. That was 3 months ago. The numbers have exploded since then. So I'll let our viewers decide. I think these live pictures tell the story in itself, but the flow is not stopped here at the southern border, guys.
Bill Melugin, thank you for your reporting from there.